Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Ever Evolving Emily, where we discuss the ability to change, evolve, and manifest. It's December. It is snowing. It's a great day. I don't know. I'm just in my glory recording. So, that being said, we're coming on to 2026, and something I really want to talk about is like living your life with intention. Or, a lot of times we have New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions, but sometimes they can be we can take them or leave them, kind of where like we have so much determination and then it kind of trickles off. So I actually do believe in setting new intentions as early as you can, October, November, and then December, before the new year. So you're already kind of like mentally preparing for the new year. But that being said, something I really want to talk about today that's been on my heart is detaching from your past and why this is important. Why this could be so beneficial for you. That, detaching and in general, staying detached, doesn't mean that you don't care anymore about what you want. It doesn't mean you don't care anymore about the desires on your heart that were put there for a reason. It just means you're kind of detaching from the way in which they flow to you. You're detaching in how it evolves. You're releasing control. Essentially, you're just releasing control into how things show up for you. I think one of the best things you could do in this life is like acknowledge and know what you want, and know that you can have it. If you can visualize and if you can see it, you can have it. Sometimes we block ourselves, and we can stand in our own way. But what if you don't do that? What if you don't stand in your way? What if you detach from your past? So I'm gonna combine a couple things, like not putting anybody on a pedestal and detaching from your past, and how I do this and how I tend to do this. And as always on my channel, I talk about what works for me, what continues to work for me, and knowing that what works for me can work for you too. So we're coming onto a brand new year, brand new season, and how to detach from your past. How to detach. Sometimes I think we carry so much with us, and then we wonder why we can't have new beginnings, new things. It's kind of like your closet, right? So like if you don't clear out your closet, then how are you possibly going to have room for anything new? If you don't shed a layer, how can you have room for something new? If you don't give up what no longer serves you, recognizing what may or may not serve you, if you don't give things up, how are you going to have room for something else? You're not. There's so many benefits to detaching from your past. Present moment awareness is definitely one of them. This is kind of a good example I came up with. Like, let's say that you were outside in your yard and you stepped in mud. If you stepped in mud in your yard, when you go into your house or your home or your apartment, wherever you live, you're going to wash your shoe off and you're going to leave it by the front door for it to dry. You are not going to take that mud and walk all over your house with it. I mean, most people wouldn't. So it's kind of like your past. We have a lot of things that we experience in this life. And if you want a clean slate, you can have it. Absolutely, you can have it. You can choose. You can shift identities. I know because I've done it. I've done like a quantum leap. I believe I keep leaping. I keep doing it. But I choose and I shift identities, and I choose what I identify with, and I choose to put my suitcases down. Sometimes in life we feel like we have to hold on to our past. Why? The past is really not. What is it? I mean, it's just your past experiences. Some memories, I do believe, are 100% worth keeping. And some things that we go through, some things that we experience, I mean, they're the mud on our shoe. Like, do we need to keep dragging it through our house? I think it's okay to let it go. I think it's okay if you're carrying a lot of suitcases, metaphorically speaking. I think it's okay to put your suitcases down and just detach from them, let it go. I've heard this on more than one channel, like a way to think about this is not just like present moment awareness, but imagine if you just arrived. If you just arrived, no past, no future, you just arrived. What would you want? How do you feel about yourself? How would you want to feel about yourself? How would you want to feel about your life? You can give yourself that opportunity. You can sit in a quiet space and ask yourself that question. If I just arrived, what would I want? I've asked myself that question so many times, and The answers they just keep coming clearer and clearer and clearer. So sometimes we feel like we have to just cling on to things like attachment. Attachment can cause a lot of suffering, ego mindset. Attachment, when we remain attached and like holding on. What if you just let go? Let go and trust. Trust. That's a tough one for a lot of people. I know it was really tough for me, but I keep getting better and better and better at trusting. Just absolute trust that everything is unfolding perfectly for me. Everything is working out in my favor. Everything. And when I surrender and trust and let go and let God, or like acknowledge I'm not alone in this on earth. I believe in angels. I believe in archangels. I believe that we're constantly being spiritually supported and guided by the universe. And the more I've dive into this, the more support and love I feel. And I'm going to talk about that. But, detaching from your past, like you do not have to be the same person you were a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 minutes ago. You don't have to be the same person. You can be whoever you want. You can completely detach and choose a completely new way of being. And as you get your self-concept in alignment with that, that is who you will become. Maybe somebody told you that you had some kind of, like a doctor told you something about yourself, or maybe you have an eating disorder, or maybe you have, something within you that you want to let go of. You can choose, you can decide. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not, a counselor, but I can tell you what I've done that has worked for me, that consistently works for me. One of the absolute best phrases that I've ever heard is, that has no power over me. My past has no power over me. The decisions I made, the mistakes that I made, that has no power over me. The solutions that are within me, that is what I'm aligning with, and that is the answer for me. The solutions are within me. So, let go. Just let go, and do the inner healing. There's so many amazing teachers out there that talk about like inner child healing, or like healing from your past. And I've done a lot of that amazing homework, but I think there is something to be said for just choosing and deciding, I no longer identify with that. That's not a part of who I am anymore. And when you make a decision, I heard so many YouTubers talk about this. When you make a clear cut decision and you decide and you put that boundary up, guess what? No, it is like you made that choice, you put that boundary up, and now nothing's going to come. And when things do come at you, you say no. I say no a lot. I say no, thanks for stopping by. Like maybe old thoughts, old habits that creep up on me. Nope, thanks for stopping by. I no longer identify with that. I am not that person anymore. I don't experience that anymore. The new me experiences nothing but love and joy, contentment, consciously manifesting good things into my life, choosing on a daily basis what to believe about myself. So, again, I think I as a yoga teacher and as someone who spent a lot of time in yoga class, present moment awareness, be in the present moment all the time. Be in the present moment. Don't be thinking about what you have to do later. Be in the present moment. If you're doing the dishes, do the dishes. If you're out on a run outside, bask in the nature. If you're spending time with your kids, love that time. Like continuously love that time, love that moment, because it's just a moment. It's your experience. It's your life experience. It's just gonna pass you by. So you may as well enjoy every single moment. Every single moment, you may as well enjoy it. Whether you're driving to work, whether you're, just doing the most mundane things in life, brushing your teeth. Enjoy brushing your teeth. Enjoy it. Enjoy every little moment. And know that your past has no power over you unless you give it power. You decide if your past is going to continue to have power over you or not. And that being said, that's going to lead me into, I want to talk about putting people on the pedestal, people, places, things on the pedestal. Really, again, I use the same phrase. I've encountered some difficult situations that I've been in my life where I was definitely giving people power. And I remember deciding, the more emotional response that we give, I've talked about in other videos like reaction versus response. If you choose to not emotionally react to anything, guess what? It's kind of like it just passes. That's it. It just passes by. And if you're used to like giving like such an energetic response to something or an energetic reaction, a knee-jerk reaction, if you stop doing those things, you'll be amazed how quickly things might shift or change for you. So that being said, sometimes in life I gave a lot of power, a lot of emotion to certain people, places, things. And then I remember when I literally said, this person has no power over me anymore. This person, this situation, this circumstance, this, this lack of financial abundance, this X, Y, and Z has no power over me anymore. Undesirable circumstances. Sometimes I felt like consumed by some undesirable circumstances. And I remember choosing, this has no power over me. Maybe you got in an argument with somebody the day before, your spouse or like a friend. Maybe you got in an argument. You can say, this has no power over me. Stop putting things on a pedestal. We put things on the pedestal all the time. People, places, conversations. Put up a boundary. And no longer say that, oh my goodness, this person did this or that. Steer clear of drama. Steer clear of it. Stay in your swim lane. Maybe don't always say things. I've actually think I've become more quiet. I don't always. I'm very careful about things that I say now. Very careful about the words that I use because I'm so aware of declaring things over my life and what I speak and speaking things into existence. I'm very aware of what I say anymore. And I'm very aware of giving, like when I give power away. And so I think too, like detaching from your past and detaching from like putting anybody on a pedestal is a way of taking back your power. How can you take back your power? We just tend to give it away. We just give it away to everybody and everything. Like, take your power back. Take your energy back. I call my power and my energy back to me. I am safe within my body. I'm safe within myself. I call it all back to me. Choose indifference. Choose indifference. Let it just kind of be. Don't give an energetic, emotional response. I think detaching from your past, like you just arrived, being in the present moment, whatever you're doing, that is where you want to be. Detach, let go. Let things come to you. Lean back. Let things come to you. Be in your own energy. Be magnetic within yourself. Love yourself. And know that you just arrived. And here we are. If you literally had no past, how freeing is that? I just arrived. Now what? Amazing. I can build my life. Right, you can build your life because you've detached. So anyway, I trust this video helped you, and I'm going to be talking a lot more about this kind of thing, but don't put anybody on a pedestal. Don't put any jobs on a pedestal, people, places, things. And just like let yourself be in the present moment awareness, and enjoy every minute of it. All right, I trust this video helped you. I love you. I see you. Namaste.